emissions, while their forests aren't burning, and while their economies are thriving and energy prices are going down. And you look at like Germany or California or any of the countries or states or places where they are trying this, it not only costs more, but it also like economically costs more. It also costs more environmentally. So it's actually doing the opposite of what they say that they want to do. And the countries that are reducing emissions the fastest in the world are the ones that are growing their economies the fastest. Because when you innovate, when you have money to invest in cool technology and cool solutions, that ends up helping the environment. It increases efficiency. It helps people live their lives better. It helps people use technologies that, like, look at like a Nest thermostat, for example. Like, there's an incentive on your app to conserve energy so that you save money and that the grid doesn't have to use as much energy, and therefore we take less from the earth. Like, those sorts of innovations drive down emissions, not these mandates. And you looking at California, Germany, everywhere around the world, Venezuela, anywhere where there's like a government first approach, and emissions and the environment are always going in the wrong direction. And it's super backwards that for so long we've allowed that group of people to dominate the conversation.
And so, no question, Elon Musk, like the greatest salesman, that we'll probably see for a while, knows how to turn things into meme causes and get real traction that way. But it's not just him. I mean, we've now got sort of in this sort of greater MAGA-verse, like this string of sort of environmentalist meme causes.
Totally.
And, I mean, like, buy Greenland, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of that's for strategic and military stuff. But this is an enormous wilderness. And especially, if the Arctic Ocean is going to continue to open up, this is going to be an area where you're going to have access to a huge amount of resources and a huge amount of sort of natural space that you're going to want to preserve, right?
Yeah, and I think that's like the ethos of conservatism is to conserve, right? And I think everyone who's conservative is passionate about some sort of conservation-related thing, at least everyone that I've met. Like, when I travel around the country, the people who are the most passionate about the environment are the people who hunt, fish, ski, hike, spend time outdoors. Yeah. They farm, they ranch, whatever they do, they're spending their time outdoors either in their free time or for their work or both. And the people who have been lecturing us about this stuff have been in the inner cities, and they don't actually go to these places. And of course, New York City is like Central Park or whatever, but it's not the most environmentally positive place to be.
They go to Davos, not the Bass Pro Shop.
That's true. That's a great point. And like, if you're like me and you want to be in the environment, I could never live in New York City because of that. It's not because of the politics or the cost, and that stuff's bad enough, but like, truly, even if it was cheap, I could not live there because I can't be that close to so many other people and not be around the environment. That's why I live in Arizona. That's why I've lived in Washington State. Like, I want to be near the outdoors. Most conservatives want that too. That's why they live in these places that are close to the outdoors. And we have a real problem in the world where we have very little wild space left. And those places have to be protected. That doesn't mean that we don't develop resources. That doesn't mean that we don't manage those ecosystems and try to kind of have a balance, which is what conservation is, between development and environmental protection. But like Alaska, Greenland, there's very few places where we actually allow wildlife to thrive, where we allow nature to run its course. And the reason that's important for us is because, like, the ecosystems are all connected. Like, it sounds kind of like, kind of weird and mystical for me to say that, but everything is connected. And it's like the butterfly effect of, like, if we kill off an entire species or even a chunk of a species, it has a massive impact on a whole ripple of things.
It's all creation.
It is. And there was a balance that was here before we were here. So we have to be active stewards and active conservationists. And we have a duty to protect these places. And America has probably the most diverse, most beautiful landscapes on the planet that any country has.
So it sounds like you are in favor of buying Greenland?
Let's buy it. Yeah.
Let's buy it. Okay.
If we can protect it and also develop resources at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Let me give you a few other, because there's the big one right now is kill the mosquitoes. You got Bill Gates out there. He wants to kill the mosquitoes? He's not doing the interconnected thing. No, he wants to. So the idea is
make more mosquitoes?
You insert a gene into the mosquito that causes them to be sterile. or infertile, so they can't reproduce anymore. And this is like sort of like it's like euthanasia for the mosquitoes, like a kindler, gentler. Like,
are we going to ask the mosquitoes for consent before we do this?
I don't think no, they're not asking for consent. This is permissionless genocide.
Is this like an anti-malaria thing?
Yes, it is.
Got it.
So I look at this stuff and I'm like, yeah, mosquitoes bad, I guess. I mean, I'm super sensitive to mosquitoes. I get one bite and it's like just this red welt for like a week or two. But man,
you won't have that problem in Arizona.
No, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just like one shot a species, and it seems to me you're asking for trouble.
You can't mess with nature that much. You have to manage ecosystems as if they were natural, and like destroying entire ecosystems, trying to control nature. There's like preservation, which is like hands off. We're not going to do anything. Then there's conservation, which is like we're going to balance the need to preserve these places, but also do human activity, and we have to balance those things. And then there's like this approach, which is like we're going to control everything, and we're going to like control the weather, we're going to control mosquitoes,
right.
We're going to do all these things. The problem is the ecosystem doesn't like that. Like when you I believe that climate change is nowhere near what the left says it is in terms of a problem. But when you put pollutants into the atmosphere, the earth does respond. When you kill off an entire species of bug, the earth is going to respond because there's a ripple effect everywhere. And I think like these people are like trying to outsmart nature, and you can't do that. Nature's going to win every time. But you might not like nature winning because it probably has a negative impact on us. And so I would say that's probably a pretty foolish idea. It's kind of got a lot of it's probably pretty scary to think about the ramifications of that.